Conwell Springs. I never thought I'd return to this place.
My name is Tarmack, and this is a spoiler-free review of Cathy Rain on PC. Cathy Rain is a point-and-click adventure, almost detective sort of game built by Clifftop Games and published by Raw Fury, an awesome phrase that I wish I could say more often. It releases May 5th, 2016 on PC and Mac via Steam, GOG, and the Humble Store, with a launch price of $14.99 US. As this is a 2D retro-style point-and-click, there won't be a separate section on performance and options. The game follows the story of character Cathy Rain, a college girl who has to return to her hometown to attend the funeral of her late grandfather. And as soon as you arrive, odd things begin to happen, and as a character with a bent towards the detective attitude, Cathy is of course very interested in getting to the bottom of it all. One thing that I want to draw attention to is the female protagonist. It's an interesting commentary into the rebellious life of a familial outcast whose father left and mother was, shall we say, not much of a motherly figure. Cathy is the leather jacket wearing, motorcycle riding, guitar playing centerpiece, and amid all of that, doesn't descend into the tomboy realm, and I found her a rather refreshing character to play in a game of this style. What Cathy Rain as a game lacks in complexity, it makes up for in charm. Unlike many games in the genre, it deals rather well with some pretty mature themes, including everything from homelessness and mental illness down to corruption, religion, and suicide. If I were to draw a comparison to 2D point-and-clicks of old, it would fall more in the realm of something like The Dagger of Amon-Ra or Darkseid than it would to a game like Day of the Tentacle or Monkey Island. It is a game that would, for the most part, be above the heads of most children, and several themes throughout are downright uncomfortable. It's also set in the 90s, so the target market is pretty clearly not children, as many of them have never had to use a phone book before or even know what a dictaphone is.
Yay! Oh, let's do it! I'm so excited. I can't wait to lie to people.
You know that's a sin, right?
Oh, I'm sure Jesus will make an exception this time. After all, he loves me.
That's not to say that the game is by its very nature totally without complexity and too easy as a result. In fact, I found that there were more than a handful of puzzles that gave me real pause, reminding me of the old Conquest of Camelot riddles section. While I was provided with a walkthrough by the developer, I refused to use it precisely because of that nostalgia kick of figure it out or don't progress, even though I spent a reasonable amount of time stuck while trying to solve those puzzles. It's not all roses and lollipops though. The game does have some issues in the graphical side of the house. To start, the setup for screen resolution will confuse people. The game uses a nearest neighbor interpolation to keep the game from looking blurry or weird when it's stretched to a widescreen monitor. The problem is that you select the resolution by selecting the nearest neighbor multiplier, and this is bound to throw the less tech-savvy gamers for a loop. The base resolution for the game also doesn't perfectly scale to 720p or 1080p, the most common resolutions we have, which is an odd design choice that results in black bars on standard monitors. There are also some gameplay oddities that did cause some frustration for me. Without spoiling anything, there's a section where you are required to interact with a computer in the game. That section has a few logical missteps in how computers operate, where as the player, you may need to try certain actions in multiple different ways until you stumble upon the one method that the developer programmed into the game. This kind of oddity does occur in a few places throughout Cathy Rain. In conclusion, these days I have to admit that point-and-click adventure games just don't hold my attention like they used to. I still seek them out because of my love for the genre, but I don't finish very many of them. Cathy Rain, on the other hand, held my attention from beginning to end. The mature themes, combined with engaging puzzles for the most part, and a character type that I had not really played before, was frankly a great experience. It's a little rough around the edges, but those issues are fleeting and do not dramatically harm the overall presentation. At a $15 US price tag for a game that runs in the 5 to 6 hour range, I feel that this game is worth buying, and more so than that, I feel that this kind of game, that being the mature style that isn't afraid to challenge uncomfortable topics and move in a more adult direction, is worth supporting. I look forward to seeing what Clifftop Games follows this up with. This has been a review of Cathy Rain by Clifftop Games and published by Raw Fury! I'm sorry, I just had to say it again. It's out on Steam, GOG, and the Humble Store for PC and Mac on May 5th, 2016. My name is Tarmack. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.